Hey guys, yeah. So as the title suggests, I'm reminiscing a bit. I've actually been searching through TV tropes, more specifically the circulate the tapes trope. I like to basically, go through tropes, look up stuff, and maybe see if I can remember. Hmm. And I remember a certain game show, actually. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Remember that? For those of you who aren't young enough to remember, who aren't old enough to remember, well, Legends of the Hidden Temple was a game show on Nickelodeon back then when they used to have all sorts of game shows. Double Dare, and all sorts of other stuff. I can't even remember. The only other one I could think of was Double Dare because we all remember the messy challenges. Oh, man. Man, they had so much trouble finding the flag and the giant peanut butter. Man, the money they must have spent on that sort of stuff. Oy. Well, Legends of the Hidden Temple was something that got me very interested in something. Mythology and legends. I know that even as a kid, I knew that they weren't all real. Like, how, these ancient artifacts and these stories somehow link them to, like, an ancient temple that happens to be in Orlando, Florida. Well, yeah, the premise was this. Ancient treasure is inside Olmec's temple. Olmec's like this giant Aztec head. And these little contestants had to basically completing some challenges, which was crossing the moat, which eliminates some guys, answering trivia questions based on the story that Olmec told. Answering like, what was the name of the man who I was just talking about, or something like that. Nothing too tricky. And basically that eliminates more people. Then it was the temple games, which are the physical challenges where you can earn a pendants, and if you have the most pendants, either you can have a maximum of two, or sometimes you have one, sometimes you have two, and sometimes you have 1.5. If you have, well, actually, yeah, you only get, actually, yeah, you could get, in theory, two. You get basically winning team go in, and they have to get the treasure. Why do you have the pendants? Well, you see, throughout the temple there were challenges, like it's take a rope and swing across a gorge of boxes. Well, yeah, safety first. I remember a lot of people get stumped by the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. That was like a common challenge where you had to put together this statue, and everybody seemed to get that wrong. It was just 3 pieces. You just put the base down, put the middle part down, then take the head and slam it in. What more do you want? Even as a kid, I saw that. But what are the temples for? Well, hidden throughout the temple are these temple guards, who, if you catch you without a pendant, you're out, and your partner has to go in without you. The good news is that it's usually when you still get past all the traps that your partner has already disarmed. And if you grab the artifact, not only do you get a prize, but all the doors and the guards are gone, so pretty much you just run back in. It was a great game show growing up, and I gotta say, I think a revival is in order. Who would agree that a big challenge of based on ancient mythology, gee, it had a great setup and atmosphere. And dude, the host was literally a giant Aztec head named Olmec. Those of you who are more modern may remember Olmec in College Humor's a sketch about him. I can't remember what it was mostly about. It was like him giving bad advice and so on. But that I do remember. Yeah, it was a great show when I was a little kid. And sadly, there has never been a VHS or DVD release. But to those who wonder, I posted a link in the description for someone where you can find all the episodes. A YouTuber by the name of Olmec Fan actually took just about every episode and put them on YouTube. Awesome. So you can probably guess what I'm going to be watching for the next few days. Just a bit of nostalgia. You know, why is it that game shows nowadays are mostly like knowledge challenge? I mean, you get a few of those physical challenge ones, but I I like to think that the older game shows had a little more heart to them, like Double Dare. I mean, let's face it, we all wanted to be on that. And then there was, what was that one? I'm trying to remember that. Anybody remember that game show where you had like a talent and they had to guess what your talent was, and the celebrities say like the secret word, they get slimed, and there was that one guy who always loved to get slimed. Anybody remember that show? Because I want, I know what I'm thinking, but I can't remember the name. What other game shows did I remember watching? When I was a kid, I used to watch a little bit of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, but that wasn't as interesting. Maybe because it wasn't as flashy. Maybe that's what it was. When I was a kid, everything seemed a little more grand and epic. Then again, I was just learning how to tie my shoes, so then again, at the time, anything was grand and epic. I distinctly remember getting scared of the temple guards a lot, and it is a bit of paranoia fuel. I mean, just face it, you go into a room, and there are multiple paths you can go in the final challenge, so you didn't know where one of the guards were. Hell, there was even one room called the Dog Forest, where you have to stick your hand inside these, I think like cloth trees. I don't know what they were made of, but you stick your hand in, hopefully you activate the switch. However, in one of them, there's a temple guard in there. You can just imagine being a little kid who's like, please don't worry about me. Ah! Yeah. And when I was a kid, yeah, that's scary. I mean, the costumes are pretty good. Well, okay, they're cheesy now, but at the time, it was like Doctor Who. For the time being, costumes were great. Most of the time. So yeah, those are my thoughts, a bit of nostalgia. Let me know what you think if any of you remember that. Bye!